the saying, lead, follow, or get out of the way. How many of you here have ever heard that adage?
Yeah.
Lead, follow, or get out of the way. Looking at the first word in that adage, lead, it simply means that you've been given an invitation to do something, to lead a project, or to lead a team, or to lead a department inside of an organization such as this. And then follow, or get out of the way. That means that you too have been given an invitation to follow a group of people in order to develop yourself, to develop skills, so that hopefully one day soon you too can be a leader. Yes. Or simply get out of the way means that, look, you're not willing to lead, you're not willing to follow, so get out of the way. I travel across the nation speaking for some of the top organizations across the nation today. The greatest thing and the most challenging thing that leaders today want to know is, how do I inspire my people? How do I communicate to my people so that they are willing to get the job done and to produce meaningful work and meaningful results? That's what people want to know. And that's why I'm here to talk to you about leading and communicating with confidence. And just to clarify my journey today, I'm going to be covering 4 points. And the first point on this journey is that you're going to have to understand that failure and disappointment is a part of leadership. And then the last thing, you're going to have to be willing to set the example. Be the example. And that will take character, passion, enthusiasm, and determination. He said, now why did you get out of my ranks, recruit? I looked at him and I said, sir, this isn't why I joined the Navy. He said, what? He said, what we have here, young man, is a personality conflict I see. I said, a personality conflict, sir? He said, yes, I have the personality and you have created the conflict. So I looked at him and I said, sir, this isn't why I joined the Navy. He said, what are you talking about? I said, sir, when I was in the recruiter's office, he showed me palm trees, beaches, and women. He said, what? I said, palm trees, beaches, and women. And this ain't it? The whole time the platoon is still marking time. They're still marching in place. He looked at me and he said, recruit, if you don't get back in my ranks, when I count to 3, when we get back to the barracks, I'm going to sit down and start writing, and when I get back up, you won't know if you're coming or going. So what is it you're going to do? I looked at him and I said, I'm now inspired. And all of a sudden, I'm back in ranks, and he yells, forward, march, and we step off, and we continue the rest of that day. But at the end of that day, he brought us into a room. We had our little teaching room, and we didn't have tables and chairs. We had the grown men, 90 grown men sitting on the floor, Indian style, to be taught by our leader. Lead, communicate, or get out of the way. So he's taught us and he explained to us, he said, what happened between Recruit Howard and myself today will not happen again. He said, because what I'm going to teach you all as your leader, as we go through the next 8 weeks of boot camp, I'm going to teach you all how to become confident within yourself, how to also become leaders within the team so that we all can achieve the results that we set out to achieve. And he said, understand that failure and disappointment will be a part of this process. He said, you're going to see some people fall off. You're going to see some people quit. You're going to see some people injure themselves. You're going to see some things that you may not have experienced in your life before, but we all are going to learn and grow and get through this together. And I sat there and I listened. And on that day, I made the decision that, okay, no longer do I want to get out of the way. I'm now ready and so to follow. But I had to learn first and understand that failure and disappointment is a part of the development as leaders. We have to understand that. So you're going to have times when you make choices for your team that may not result in the outcome that you all set out to achieve. That's a part of it. You're going to have disappointment because you may choose someone that you know has the skill and the potential to get the job done, but they won't deliver. Because that's a part of the process. You're going to have people who are going to let you down. So you have to work in the beginning to do what? To minimize the negatives. And see, that's what my company commander did with me on that day when he told me that we had a personality conflict. He had the personality and I had the conflict, but he had to minimize that. And that then allowed him to do what we're talking about in the second half of this presentation, to accentuate the positives. Because the second step is to surround yourself with people who are willing to work, who are willing to get the job. Because if you're green and growing, you're that person who wakes up every day and you believe in the concept that it's possible, that you can lead and communicate with confidence. You can do it. You have it within you. But you have to have the character. You have to have the passion. You have to have the enthusiasm. And the last thing is you have to have the determination. And what is determination? To me, determination is an action. That means you're not going to wait for the ship to come in. You're going to go out. And if you have to build your own ship to get you further out there, then you do that. See, action gets things done. When it comes to untying the knots, is that you have to understand when everything is said and done in life, what will you be remembered by? And I think that if you strive to lead and communicate with confidence, that you will do as I share with people in every one of my Untie the Knots programs or messages, you will be able to create a life of significance and live a life of significance, which will then become your legacy. Which will then become your legacy. And a lot of people don't think on that level. They're like, wow, man, that's deep. But what will be your legacy as a result of being a leader? As a result of communicating confidently as a leader? Will it be one that people will come to you to ask questions, to seek help, to seek improvement? Or will it be one where people said, oh man, he or she should have followed and just got out of the way? I hope for you and everyone else that is a part of your team and everyone else that you lead, I hope for you that you make the choice to lead and communicate with confidence.